One of Europe's most beautiful palaces and gardens is found near Vienna, Austria, which is my next stop as I cruise the Grand European itinerary with Viking cruises. This is Schonbrunn Palace, one of Europe's best, well-preserved Baroque complexes, and an optional Viking shore excursion when visiting Vienna, Austria. It's the most popular tourist attraction in Vienna and receives over 2 million visitors a year, which is not surprising when you see just how beautiful it is. The palace had been in control of the Habsburg dynasty since 1569. It was their summer residence and it was a great reflection of their power and influence over society. Now, whilst the palace is spectacular, the gardens are some of Europe's finest, so I want to show you around. The park and garden around the palace covers around 500 acres and it's laid out in the 18th century Baroque style. The park and garden were placed together with the palace on the UNESCO list of World Heritage Sites in 1996. And the park has been open to the public to enjoy since 1779. This place was originally called Kattenburg and it was designed, like many of the great gardens that you'll find throughout Europe, to actually support local game and local birds. But there were exotic birds here as well, peacocks and turkeys. But as their power and wealth grew, the gardens evolved with more sophisticated design and detail added. The great parterre with its symmetrical garden beds occupies the large open spaces in the gardens here. Rows of marble statues line the tall clipped hedges that form the passageways through the garden, leading the visitor to discover new vistas and rooms. A clever design principle at the foundation of most garden designs in Australia today. The Neptune's Fountain is another highlight, a sculpture based on the themes from Greek mythology. It's enormous and an impressive feature that has millions of pictures taken every year. This beautiful fountain was designed as the crowning element of the great parterre garden. On the east side of the building's facade, you'll find this garden. It's called the Privy Garden. It was built back in 1870. During the spring, you'll find masses of colour coming from cottage perennials. During the autumn and the winter is when they die back, but then you actually get to appreciate the true form and structure, the formality of the garden. It was built for Prince Rudolph back then. He had an apartment down there and it would open out, allowing the family to come out and enjoy the garden. And they used it right up until 1918, when the monarchy came to an end. This is a private garden behind walls and wild vines. The Privy Garden illustrated the gardener's ability to bend nature to their will and create patterns out of plants, soil and stone. The first maze in Schonbrunn was created in 1720. It originally had 4 quadrants with a central pavilion. It was intended as an inviting setting for a gentle stroll. It was gradually abandoned and then reconstructed with a new maze opened in 1999. And that now extends over 1,715 square metres. There's a viewing platform in the centre, which might help you work out how to get out. Amazing.